planning for an expanding community. What kids, parents, and teachers want to see in the school building of the future. Plus,
I don't really like this, the spotlight being on me.
Like it or not, this Skyview tennis player is getting a lot of attention. What she did that only one other person had ever done before. And the hands-on project at one elementary school powered by kids and the sun. Welcome to Inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Nick Voll. The district asks students, parents, and educators to help plan the elementary school of the future. As Amanda Richter reports, ideas range from fun to practical, silly to serious.
The Bates Center is abuzz with ideas. It isn't just parents and teachers at this community symposium. Kids also get a chance to describe their perfect school building.
Their hallways could be swimming pools where we could just swim to our class.
It would be on a beach, because I love beaches.
While those ideas aren't necessarily realistic, that doesn't mean students don't have anything to offer.
Kids have a better idea of what the school should look like, and parents have already gone through schools, and so they already know what they want, and sometimes their needs aren't what the kids need.
So aside from their requests for
a pool or a hot tub,
what do kids really need from a school building?
If it's inviting, then you always want to come to school and you wouldn't miss a lot of days.
Like a family surrounding, so that everybody's welcome and they feel comfortable in the school.
Bright colors for the little kids so they don't get bored with all the drippy, boring colors and stuff.
The school district accords those ideas, along with those from the adults in the room.
I don't think very many school districts have this kind of symposium where they actually bring everybody together, and especially kids and students and the public, in addition to teachers and administrators. It's just an amazing process.
Although some schools have been built, replaced, or renovated over the past 20 plus years, several others are decades old. Vancouver's population is also expanding. The event's guest speaker, Dr. Robert Barr, works with a number of school districts, and he says it's best to prepare for the future.
That's a vision of hope that is so far beyond what most of the schools where I did my studies. They're not there yet, but Vancouver's out there and leading the way.
Inside Vancouver Public Schools, I'm Amanda Richter.
This is just one part of a larger planning process to bring Vancouver public school facilities up to 21st century standards. If approved by the superintendent and school board, a bond measure to pay for school construction and facility improvements could be before voters next year. A Vancouver teenager makes history and becomes arguably the greatest high school tennis player in the history of our area. Sammy Hampton of Skyview closes out her high school career by doing exactly the same thing she's done since she was a freshman. She won, and she did it with a smile on her face. On a hot June afternoon, Skyview High School senior Sammy Hampton barely breaks a sweat as she scrimmages against the best senior player from the boys team, Alex Shepard.
My favorite part about the match was that when it was 7-0 and I was about to lose, all of the fans kind of walked away and let me lose in peace.
The season is over, and for Sammy, it ended with her 4th state championship. She's just the second girl in state history to win 4 titles. Amazingly, she only lost 2 sets in those 4 years and never even lost a match, finishing 82-0.
Sammy she's exceptionally good, yes.
Probably the best tennis player I'll ever meet.
She can do everything on the court and do it better than anybody I've ever seen.
We caught up with her at districts where she dominated and flashed a killer instinct.
She can pretty much hit any type of shot there is.
But off the court?
Everybody knows how good she is as a tennis player, but she's even sweeter of a person and as a kid. Just everything you could ask for in an athlete.
She seems to put other people first. She cares more about how I am rather than herself, which is awesome.
When asked about her accomplishments, she deflects praise and wants to talk about her teammates.
I'm gonna miss it so much. That all the girls have supported me so,
But when you're this good, you can shy away from the spotlight only so much.
I was even practicing out here one day, and just this old man and his little daughter came up to me and they're like, "Are you the state champ?" And I was like, I felt so cool. I love that. That's probably my favorite part, yeah.
With college tennis at Arizona State ahead of her, she and her coaches can now reflect on what she's done.
I don't think we'll ever see somebody like her. I know I won't in my coaching lifetime. So.
Although she doesn't necessarily buy into it, Sammy seems to be figuring out what the rest of us already knew. She's kind of a big deal.
When I came back and like everyone would like be like, that's never that's happened one more time before, like you start to feel really cool, and I feel really proud of myself.
Congratulations to Sammy for a spectacular career, and she isn't the only local athlete to make a splash at the state level during spring sports. The Skyview girls tennis team took second overall in state. Here are how other local athletes did at the state level. Let's start with girls golf. Bridget Standard of Fort Vancouver placed 6th in state at the 3A tournament. In boys golf, Spencer Tibbetts of Fort Vancouver finished 2nd. The Fort team finished 4th overall. Moving to track and field, here are the top finishers from Skyview High School at the 4A level. At the 3A meet, Columbia River High School had a number of top finishers in the boys and girls meet. At the 2A competition, Hudson's Bay junior Erica Weems finished 5th in the 300-meter hurdles. Congratulations to them all. A Vancouver middle schooler wins the National Citizenship Bee and finishes 5th in the History Bee. Andrew Douglas, a 6th grader at Jason Lee Middle School, beat some of the smartest kids in the nation in Louisville, Kentucky. His family provided us with this home video of him competing. The Citizenship Bee is a competition focused on American history, government, and current events. Those areas are a real passion for Andrew.
I hope to move on and hopefully use this as I grow up, and I think it's important to know the news and politics and current events, and that's pretty similar to history.
Andrew narrowly missed the Final Four in the History Bee. He finished 2nd in that competition last year and hopes to return to Louisville to compete again next year. And he's not the only champion at Jason Lee. The school's 6th grade Math is Cool team won the state competition held in Moses Lake. To win, they had to memorize complex formulas and solve really tough problems. It's an extracurricular activity that takes up lots of spare time, but they love the intellectual challenge.
I think that math is a good way to stimulate your brain to do something. Like you can just sit there and think in long concentration. You get to practice your focus. You get to put all your memorization skills of all of the formulas into use.
I love doing math. Math is cool. You give me something that's math, I'll probably be doing it.
There are 4 members on the team, and you can see the students' names on your screen. The Math is Cool team is coached by Jason Lee math teacher David Tubb. Students in Hudson's Bay High School's horticulture program get an opportunity to use their skills in the real world. A group of students were hired to install a below-ground sprinkler system that operates on a timer. They went during class hours and had to figure out where the pipes would go and how to wire the electric components. Of course, the real work was manual labor, but they didn't seem to mind.
I just like to be out here because it just expresses me, because I'm not I'm an outdoor guy.
I like hands-on. I'm a hands-on learner, so it's kind of fun to get out of the classroom every once in a while.
The students we spoke to were all considering careers in landscape design and management. The horticulture program at Bay is part of the district's career and technical education department. Students in Skyview High School's science, math, and technology program wrap up the school year by showing off their final projects, and some of them are pretty impressive. We stopped in at the annual SMT night, where students presented their work to parents and community members. In one project, students built a new kind of acoustic tile to reduce ambient noise at Skyview, which can be a problem at times due to the school's open design. In their tests, the panels did exactly what they were designed to do.
Since it was a year-round project for us, it was a lot of work, but I feel like it paid off in the end. I believe we have a really solid project, and it's a good way to kind of show what we did.
Another group had a working prototype on hand of its project. These students made a faucet that also dispenses soap and lets the users know when they've washed long enough to meet safety standards. They discovered that a major part of the design process is trial and error.
That's just what happens in the real world. In an engineering sense, that happens all the time. You just got to learn how to adapt.
Attendees voted for their favorite projects, and the winner was named at the end of the night. Elementary students at Peter S. Ogden School get a hands-on lesson in solar power. As Tara Cox reports, not only did the students get to build their own small boats, they got to race them.
Students at Ogden Elementary cheer for their favorites as classmates race solar-powered boats down a water-filled track. The kids built these boats themselves, using water bottles and more.
What we had was a solar panel and a motor and a rudder right here.
It forms electricity through the solar panel, and the solar panel uses the electricity for whatever you're going to use it for.
As you heard, students are learning about solar power.
Our next generation is our hope to help us meet some of the biggest energy challenges we have. So we're pretty excited that schools want to participate and include this information in STEM curriculum.
The Bonneville Environmental Foundation facilitated this project with teachers, and representatives were on hand to see the boats in action.
As a program director, I'm usually doing lots of administrative stuff, like budgets and things, so I love seeing this sort of thing.
Math, science, excitement, all involved in this process. So.
Beyond solar power, students also learned a fundamental concept of engineering, trial and error.
It was amazing to see, what if we changed the rudder size? Or what if sometimes they wanted to bring the airboat a little bit closer down? Well, the propeller hit, so that didn't work.
If we didn't put a lot of water, it would tilt side to side. And so if we put a little bit of water, it would stay balanced and it would go straight.
We really had to keep constructing this, keep making it better and finding solutions.
And in the end, sink or float, win or lose, students ventured into new waters.
It feels good.
Inside Vancouver Public Schools, I'm Tara Cox.
The Bonneville Power Administration, Par Lumber, and David Richards of Fort Vancouver High School's welding program all contributed to this project. Community members turn out en masse to support Vancouver's children. The annual Foundation for Vancouver Public Schools luncheon was the biggest yet. Held at the downtown Hilton, the luncheon drew hundreds of people. Attendees heard student musicians and ate a lunch prepared by Fort Vancouver High School culinary arts students. They listened to speakers, and most importantly, they donated to the foundation, which helps kids in need. The grand total this year, a record $158,000. To learn more about what the foundation does and to find out how you can help, head to the website address on your screen. That's foundationforvps.org. We are out of time. I want to thank you for joining us. Until next time, I'm Nick Voll.